Cardinals. And joining us right now on the Arizona Sports Line, Jonathan Gannon, here on the Burns Gambo Show, coming off yesterday's 24-10 win against the Steelers. Coach, congratulations on that. Sorry to keep you waiting. Thanks for coming on. We appreciate it.
Oh, yeah, thank you. Thanks for having me, guys. How you guys doing?
Yeah, what a great game. I mean, that was a lot of fun to see you guys play that well. I want to give you a game ball. I know you gave out a bunch of them, James Conner, but you had your team ready to play. Tough environment on the road in Pittsburgh, a team that's battling to get into the playoffs, and you stuck it to them pretty good. So congrats to you for having that team ready to play the way they did.
Oh, it's all the players, man. They did a good job.
I loved the 99. I want to start there because, you know, that's going to be one of our favorite moments of the entire season. You get an incredible goal line defensive stop. First and goal, second to fourth and goal, you stop Harris. You get the ball back at the 1 yard line. You convert a 3rd and 3 to Higgins, a 3rd and 6 Carter runs it, a 3rd and 6 to Trey, a 3rd and 4 to Trey, and then a 3rd and goal for a touchdown. I mean, thinking back all year long, can you remember a drive that was as efficient as that one was?
No, I mean, I just told the media those were some big-time plays, and not just, the quarterback and the guy catching the ball. The pocket was good on those, whether we're in 5-man, 6-man, 7-man protection. I thought the pocket was excellent. But just starting backed up in if you guys would have been in that end zone now, you couldn't hear yourself talk. And, in that environment, the crowd's all juiced up to get it out of there. Take 4.5 minutes off the clock when it started pouring rain, and kind of execute all the way down. Take 4.5 minutes off, have a touchdown taken off the board, and then put it in the fouling play. I mean, just big time resilience, big time playmaking. All 11 playing really good, clean football.
What challenges did the delays cause you? Was there any advantage in getting some things down, or was it a negative? What did you do during that time?
Yeah, I wouldn't say that. I did tell the team, I said, this is, we talk about external factors all the time, and I said, the weather is an external factor, and now it happens to be an external factor that's delaying us, right? So we went into halftime, our normal halftime process that we use, and then the refs came in and said, hey, we're going to delay you guys. So I went back in and said, hey, okay, listen, because this is the first time it's happened to me. I said, the team that thinks it's an advantage or disadvantage, that's what it's going to be. So here's what we're going to do. So we kind of reset ourselves, went through our process again. When I got the green light, we're going to be out in 10 minutes or whatever, went back out, got warmed up, and I thought we came out. We went 3 and out, but the defense got us stopped there. That was the takeaway, scored 7. And then they put us back in the locker room. So we went back in. I said, all right, here's how we're going to handle it. Same thing as a halftime here. Defense, this is what we're doing. Make sure we're good on the calls and adjustments. Offense, here's what Drew's going to next. And then they kind of delayed us again in there. We never got to come out. At first they said, we're going to come out in 10 minutes, and they come back in 8 minutes. We're going to come out in another 20 minutes. I was like, so sorry for the language there. So what we did was, but I didn't want to, we kind of had the mental part was kind of taken care of, but I said, all right, well, I don't want us just sitting in quietness for however long it's going to be, because at that point I didn't have a timeline. So I said, put the music on, because you guys normally have music on before you're going out there before pregame warm-ups.
Well,
that's what it's going to be like. So we put the music on. I think they were dancing a little bit, made sure our energy was good, came out and got it done. So they handled it extremely well. They didn't let it be a distraction or an external factor that prohibited them in a negative way.
You got where I wanted to go. So there was dancing. I heard there was dancing.
There was a little dancing.
Dancing.
I think a couple captains let it off, and they had music going, and the locker room had really good energy.
Did you dance? Was there any dancing by the coach?
I did not dance. I was making sure the coordinators were on point with what we're doing.
I saw a quote from you, and I've been wanting to ask you about it ever since I read it yesterday afternoon. Quote, when we got on the plane Friday, I knew how it was going to go. It showed up all week, said head coach Jonathan Gannon. What told you that it was going to go the way you thought it was going to go?
Yeah,
what
I just felt like the team was extremely convicted on how we needed to play that game to win the game, and the points of emphasis and the things that we talked about all week. One, coming from the past week, what we wanted to make sure we got corrected and didn't happen again, and 2 is playing that opponent, digesting that information and that material with how this game was going to have to be played on all 3 phases to win the game. I just felt really good about, honestly, with our team grasping that, knowing how the game was going to go, and what we needed to do to really win the game. And it was so clear to me and the team, and that's how the game ended up being played. So, kudos to them to executing and playing at a high level, playing with great effort and enthusiasm, and we got it done.
I want to welcome you to the club as a guy that has gotten dumped on the show. Like when you say a certain word, we have a dump button.
Oh yeah,
and so welcome to the. I've been in it for a long time. Matter of fact, I believe that this button was created for me.
It's called the dump button, Coach. I call it the Gambo button because basically
because I curse a lot.
Because it happens twice a year.
You should have hit it. You should have hit it you knew I was going to say that.
Yeah, we did. The other room they hit it.
Yeah. So welcome to the club. Yeah. You actually got dumped.
I got dumped.
You got dumped. Yeah. Congratulations.
As long as my wife doesn't dump me, I'm in good shape.
Yeah. Same for me. Same for me, my friend. Same for
Welcome
me.
to the Gambo Club. Congratulations.
It took me 13 weeks, right? What week? 13.
Yeah.
I've said a lot worse than what you said, though.
I've
said a lot worse.
I bet.
Yeah.
And you just don't think for a second. You say something, and then but now we have this button. Now we never used to have it, but now we have it. My favorite thing in football is when, like, they did an onside kick, 4:25 left. They get the touchdown to Deontay, 24-10. They got to score, and they got to do an onside kick and get the ball back. I was shocked that they didn't onside kick it. But my favorite thing, Alabama did this in the Georgia game too. You take the ball and you run it down their throats. Connor had the big run. Then he had a 10-yard run. Then he had an 11-yard run. You never gave them the ball back. How satisfying is that to you as a coach to do that?
Yeah, it was huge. I mean, and knowing that they're going to play for run too. And, in kind of a, we would call that a 4-minute mechanics. And so those loaded boxes. And, I thought it was a good job all kind of the whole game. Hey, these are the runs versus this front, this coverage that we want to get to. And I thought, honestly, obviously James was outstanding, but the O-line, the tight ends, even the receivers chipped into that, takes all 11. They did a really good job of executing and playing physical and violent and getting push and displacement. And then James made it happen too. But I think he had over, 50 yards there, I think, in the last drive. He had a couple explosives there. And to be able to, line up in victory and knee on it a couple times before you got to go over and shake Coach Tomlin's hand, that was pretty cool.
Did you get a sense from James throughout the course of the week how much this one meant to him? Did it? Yes, but no, I should say. Like he practices and prepares like that every week. Truthfully, I mean, it's one of the major reasons he's a captain. But I know we're all human too, so I knew deep down, what it meant to him to go back to that place and play well and get a win, and then himself obviously play extremely well. So I was happy for him.
I think I could name every Cardinal tight end since the 90s that never did anything. You finally have one of the elite tight ends in the game. Now, obviously, I'm sure you weren't happy with a couple of those penalties that Trey had.
Yeah. No, I wasn't.
And rightfully so. But I'll let you touch on that because I want to hear your thoughts on the two penalties he had. But just having an elite tight end that you could target 7 to 10 times a game, that's a mismatch. I mean, it's a mismatch. Let's be honest. The other team doesn't have anybody that could cover him, right? A linebacker can't cover him. A safety can't cover him. How much of an advantage is that? I'm happy you guys are taking advantage of it because he's a load to take down and he's a load to cover right now.
Yeah, I mean, even the one third down, the second third down conversion there in the red zone, the concept was kind of really left to right to the three receiver side, but I know Kyler saw the matchup and he liked the matchup through the one-on-one ball and he won. And, I know Kyler, like he's aware enough pre-snap to know, hey, do I have a matchup that I like? Do I have a one-on-one that I like? And he knows Trey's going to get open and win. So, sometimes the concept starts with Trey, sometimes it doesn't, depending where he's located in the formation, things like that. But I think it's really been cool to see, Trey win at a high level and Kyler trust him and throw him the ball. But he's making a bunch of plays for us, guys. There's no doubt.
Now the penalties.
Yeah, you got better clean it up, man. You're hurting the team. But no, the one, it was loud, and he flinched, and then he had the hold there, and we coached that up, and he thought the ball was going to hit somewhere else, and it ended up not. I think that was a little bit of reason for it, but you got to pull off there. But he knows that, and it's going to, everybody makes mistakes, and he'll learn from that and get better, and moving forward, hopefully cleans those up.
Last one before we let you go, and just I haven't seen this addressed yet. What's the status of Hollywood Brown? He didn't play in the second half yesterday.
Yeah, he came in a little nicked, so I think just we'll see how it goes here. But I know the for not just Hollywood, everybody, we've been going at it pretty long here now, so I want him to kind of decompress, rest their bodies, mentally take a break here, and I think that the week off will help a lot of our bumps and bruises. So hopefully we come back in here pretty healthy.
Sure, you'll be working the whole time, but try to enjoy that bye week. We'll talk to you.
And congratulations
and congrats
again
on the win.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
Congrats
okay,
on
have a good week.
You got it. Jonathan Gannon joining us here on the Burns Gambo Show.
Thanks for watching Burns and Gambo. Click to see more from the guys and hit the button in the middle to subscribe so you never miss a video from Arizona sports.